How about the age of the Earth? The age of the Earth has been calculated in lots of different ways. There was a famous calculation by Archbishop Usher in the 1600s that creation had occurred on October 23rd, 4004 BC. That estimate was based on genealogy in the Bible. So in the 1800s, there was already accumulating geological evidence that the Earth must be much older than that. One of Darwin's contemporaries was a famous physicist named Lord Kelvin. How many of you guys have ever heard of Kelvin? Yeah, right. This is the Kelvin of the second law of thermodynamics. This is also the Kelvin of the absolute temperature scale. So the degrees are named after Lord Kelvin, one of the most famous physicists of the 1800s. So Kelvin had calculated that the Earth couldn't be older than the Earth and Sun had a maximum age of 40 million years. That was based on the physics of the cooling of the Earth and Sun. That estimate bothered Darwin a lot because Darwin had estimated in The Origin that it might take hundreds of millions of years for his process of descent with modification to generate this immense tree of life. So Darwin wanted 400 million years, tenfold more than Lord Kelvin thought was physically possible. So this debate was actually resolved by an amazing series of discoveries in 20th century physics that Darwin didn't live to see. Einstein realized in the earliest 20th century that energy and mass are actually interconvertible. His famous equation, E equals mc squared, E for energy and m for mass. Detailed measurements of the actual mass of atoms shows that 4 hydrogen atoms actually weigh slightly more than 1 helium atom. And the way the sun actually shines is a process of fusion energy. So 4 hydrogen atoms are fused together to make 1 helium, and a small bit of excess mass is converted into energy. So the sun is a nuclear furnace, not the kind of conventional furnace that Kelvin had modeled in the 1800s. You can actually measure the amount of hydrogen and helium in the sun and calculate how old the sun must be based on that nuclear furnace. Similarly, around the turn of the century, radioactivity was discovered for the first time. So that actually provided a new source of heat within rocks, and it also provided a brand new way to calculate the absolute age of rocks. Detailed measurements from both the physics of stars and the half-life of radioactive decay show that the Earth and the solar system are billions of years old, not millions of years old, so 100 times longer than Lord Kelvin had estimated during the debates with Darwin. So when Darwin said that an infinite number of generations, which the mind can't grasp, must have succeeded each other in the long roll of years, he was even more right than he thought at the time.